So, we are going to be reacting to, well, I say we. I am going to be reacting to I Did a Thing. I Did a Thing is hilarious. If you haven't watched any of his videos, please watch his videos. Um, yeah, so here we go.
How you going?
Yeah, that's him.
Animals have developed some
He's
pretty cool and
he's a
creative
little
ways
special.
of protecting themselves, like echidnas.
He looks like a dink.
Magpies, stingrays,
What the fuck is a magpie? Oh, that's not
and
okay.
hermit crabs.
I like me some hermit crabs.
But some of their methods aren't quite strong enough. So today, I'm going to make
Still don't know why it's
hermit
not showing
stronger
up.
by giving them some armor and weapons, so they can destroy anything that tries to touch them.
Did he just say he was going to give the goddamn hermit crab armor? It's in a shell.
Alright, the first thing I need is some hermit crabs, and I could just buy them from the store, but they are expensive, and it also seems a little unethical. So instead, I decided to get them
Unethical?
from the wild, taking them away from their home, family, and friends.
God, I would love to be swimming there. God, it's so beautiful.
Now I want to find a crab that is around 3 centimeters in diameter, so I brought my tape measure and began to measure.
He already does his own ads, so he brought a tape measure underwater. What the fuck?
But after losing a tug of war with an octopus,
Oh, he got it. He's strong.
Where do you go to just
I
find
got my tape measure
octopus?
and started searching for any shells I could find. But unfortunately, all the shells were either empty or occupied with snails, which I crushed up for the fish, who started to get really friendly with me, almost too friendly. So I decided to call it and get out before they get
Is
up to
there a
big fun
such thing as a
business,
fish
these
that's
guys are
too
notoriously
friendly?
named blue gropers. So
Oh,
I started looking in the rock pools, creeks, and just anywhere with water,
Okay.
until eventually I found this guy.
I saw this rock moving before.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at this like pine cone thing up here. He meant this. There's a hermit crab right there. I love hermit crabs. I've had like 17
then
of
I
them
gave the rock
since
a
I was
wash.
little.
And began looking for more.
They're so awesome.
And after searching some more in this area, I found 2 more hermit
They're so easy to take
Let's
care
call
of too.
them
They're a
Sandy,
great starter
Randy,
pet
and Handy.
if
And
you're
I
looking
made them
for
this
something for
home,
your
which is
kids.
filled with sand and random Lego pieces, but more importantly has a heat mat that emulates the warmth that a hermit crab is used to getting from heat mats that exist naturally in the wild. Okay, now I just need to make the metal shells.
So this
and
is,
the first thing that comes to mind
like,
is
actually
casting the shells
entertaining.
out of aluminium.
Not like
and I can do
he
this
wouldn't
by
be
3D
entertaining, but
printing
like
some shells with
educationally
some
entertaining.
cool designs like this, and then taking a cast of the 3D print and then pouring metal in to fill the mold. And I want the crab's armor to still look like shells, but also have a Mad Max style to it, with stuff like armor
What?
plates, some spikes,
What?
saws. So I 3D printed all my shell designs and baked them in the sun to harden up. Then cast
Did this
one in
man
plaster
just
with
say
some
he was gonna
arms for
Mad
the
Max
molten metal to
some
run down
hermit
and left
crabs?
that for a couple of days to dry. Now I'm hoping that when the molten
I think he
metal
did.
enters the holes, it will instantly melt the resin and styrofoam, creating a void which the metal will fill.
Oh.
So next thing, I invited the neighbors' kids over for a 24-pack.
Don't encourage kids to drink. Just don't do that.
We're not leaving until you finish. All right?
Don't do that.
Collected
Just
all
no.
the parts, which I melted down in my furnace.
Man just has a furnace.
And while
Man
the
just
cans
has
are
a
melting,
furnace.
It's the perfect
Like,
time to tell you about today's
man just
sponsor,
has a furnace.
KiwiCo,
KiwiCo.
which is a much
you know,
better thing to get for your kids instead of drinks. KiwiCo is
100%.
a subscription service where you get a STEM project in the post once a month. Everything you need is there.
I'm
in the
just gonna let
box,
him talk
meaning
about
you don't
this
need to go to the
this
shops
product,
for
KiwiCo.
batteries or anything. The
Um,
crates teach science.
Man
art,
gets paid to do
engineering,
this.
and are
I'm gonna
designed
let
to
him get
spark a
paid.
child's
I don't care if it's on my
curiosity and
stream.
creativity. I was really impressed by this domino machine and this walking robot, which
That's
both
pretty
teach
cool.
awesome engineering and design concepts. I really enjoyed this do-it-yourself
Teaching
air
your
hockey
kids how to
kit,
do that?
I didn't know if you pump it, it gets so big.
It gets so big when you pump it.
which is aged 5+, so is perfect for me and my friends.
Is it?
KiwiCo has heaps of different crates to
That's
choose
air
from,
hockey.
and each monthly crate is designed by
Man just made an air hockey
tested
table.
by kids, so it really is the perfect thing for you to get for the kids in your life. And I really wish I had KiwiCo to play with as a child, instead of what my mum gave me. So, if you want to try it out and support my channel, click the link in the description and get your first month free. Thanks to KiwiCo
You
for
know,
sponsoring the video.
If you've got kids, that's not a bad choice. Like, seriously. That looked
Okay,
pretty
now
dope.
Time to check on the cans.
What the fuck?
When they seemed liquidy enough, I poured them into the mold.
Oh. He's making an aluminum cast out of those. Okay. Okay. I see you. There's got to be a better way to do that. Probably by not using the hole digger.
And I don't think there is any chance that this worked. So I gently cracked it open to look.
Gently. Fucking
And that didn't
gently.
work at all. The aluminium didn't run into the hole, and I could try again, but the bad thing about doing this with plaster is the mold is not reusable and takes a very long time to remake.
Or
So
you
instead,
fucking
I decided
broke
to
the
make a
mold.
out of high temperature silicon, which I've used before.
Man
to
just
make
smashed it and
temperature
said, oh, it's
flashlights.
because of that. No. You broke the fucking mold.
And then we'll use pewter as the metal, which I can just melt on the stove, which is great, as I won't burn myself as much. And to make the silicon mold, I took the resin.
That makes it sound like he burns
bottom
himself a
of this
lot.
PVC
I
pipe,
can kind of get,
and then
like,
poured
okay.
silicon over
Yeah,
the
he did
top
put his
until it
finger in, like,
almost came
molten
over the
liquid
shell.
earlier.
Then I let that dry before pouring another layer on the top so it runs inside the shell, and then let that dry. And now hopefully I can neatly pull apart the layers, creating a two-part mold.
This man does nothing neat.
Enjoying together.
Which didn't work. So I made another one, but this time used graphite powder so they would separate. Now comes the pewter, which is this metal here, which makes you feel incredibly strong, which I just cut into chunks. And then melted it down in this little saucepan. And if you're following
Man
along,
just burnt his own table.
it's very important that
Man
you
just
also
burnt his own
put
table.
a plastic handle like this one, which will catch on fire, releasing poisonous fumes. Then once the metal
Yes,
is no
touch
longer
the-
its solid self,
Okay.
I poured it into this hole.
It's not like he's pouring melted liquid right next to his
Creating
bare
this.
feet, by the way. Just bare. Oh, no, no, no. No, you do not get to talk on this. That's my job.
And it
And
turns
his.
out casting a hollow spiral tube is very hard, but I kept trying.
There's got to be an easier way.
And after pouring and destroying at least 10 molds, I finally managed to get this.
That one actually looks pretty good.
You got a big ass hole.
Whoa.
Which is
Looks
almost good,
dope,
but
though.
I've realized a problem. This shell is very heavy, at 90 grams. If we
Jeez.
compare that to the weight of a hermit crab,
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be moving it. Just saying.
which is 0, the shell weighs infinitely more, which
0?
is a big difference.
Come
I need
on.
to come up with some other way of doing this, and I think electroplating is my best bet. And the first thing I need to do is make a
This
bar
man knows about
filled with the
electroplating.
metal I want to plate in, which is nickel. So I just
This
got
man
two
knows about
parts and put them
electroplating.
in a vinegar solution, and then got this wire. And
I thought he was just winging it.
plates. And then very quickly, the bath turned from clear to green, meaning it's now filled with nickel. And I know this setup looks bad, like I'm making
Janky.
meth or something, which I am.
Oh,
doing,
Breaking Bad.
Don't get me wrong, but just not here on this table.
Oh my god. Oh my! Like, how has he not burnt his house
I
down?
tested to see if
I get he's
could
doing
cut
it as a
the
joke,
plate
but like,
using this copper wire. So I
legitly,
connected to the
how
negative
has he not burnt his
and
house
put the
down?
positive on this nickel chunk. And now hopefully the nickel metal moves from the negative through the bath onto the copper, coating it in nickel. And after
Yeah,
only
that
dunking
shit
it in the
fascinates
solution
me.
for like 30 seconds, the copper wire was covered in a layer of nickel, which means this should work. So I covered the shells in a conductive paint and put them in and waited, and waited, and waited. And the shells were much slower than the copper wire, but it does look like it's working.
I was going to say it didn't look like it was
nickel,
working at all.
So I left them overnight. And this doesn't actually look that bad at all. It's kind of shiny and is also very light, while also having the added strength from the metal. And best of all, it makes this noise, which is good enough for me. So I
as long as it makes that noise.
Sizes, and then also did some in copper, which looks awesome and has this
okay. It's got like a steampunk vibe. I like it. I like
which
it.
Makes the copper almost look organic. And
I wouldn't say organic, but I would say steampunk.
And this is the annoying bit of the video for me, as I have no idea how long the crabs are going to take to pick a shell. And after watching them for a week, nothing happened.
They've got to be ready. They got to molt.
About the crabs, like that Sandy loves to eat fish, Randy loves digging in the corner, and Handy, well, he loves... yeah. But more importantly, I learned that all of them are liars. And despite what a hermit crab tells you, they are not actually crabs at all, and had been lying to me for 2 weeks before I discovered they were actually something called a decapod crustacean. And I have no idea what that means. But in the end, it doesn't really matter.
It means they're related.
Something has finally
like
happened.
Very distant cousins, but...
And I came back to the tank one night to find this empty shell.
It's a dead.
And Randy in his beautiful new...
It might be dead. Oh! No, he changed homes. Dope.
He's got armor.
Legitly has armor.
Awesome.
And personally, I would have picked the larger shell for myself, as he barely fits in the thing. But it seems fine, as he can still do all the things he loves doing, like running, digging, and climbing.
He probably chose it because the weight, dude.
Dig under the ground, as when he's under, it's just the spikes on top of the shell poking out in a similar way to an echidna, which would really hurt if you stepped
What the fuck is an echidna?
And I really didn't think this would work at all, so I am very happy with this result. And I could wait longer to see if the other crabs also adopt their new shells, but I've been doing this for 2 months now, and I feel like I'm really pushing my luck, and I'm going to be responsible for the death of
Hey,
crabs.
1 out of 3.
So I just
1 out of 3.
Here and release the crabs back into the wild.
Why the bare
Andy
feet?
and Handy in their boring shells, and then Randy in his beautiful armor.
Okay, buddy.
So hopefully he now lives a long, happy life, destroying the ecosystem he lives in. And the crabs aren't the only thing I'm releasing. I've got 3 leftover metal shells, which I've placed on beaches all over Sydney for you to find. Here are some clues on where to find them.
You know, I bet the another hermit crab's gonna grab them, and they won't be just like there. Accurate.
I've written a poem.
I'm scared.
At this beautiful point, you'll feel like a man. So just climb down this gully and follow my plan. When you get to the ledge and look around, you'll find the shell where I peed on the ground.
Classy. Classy. 10 out of 10.
At this beach you'll find many men laying bare. I was tempted to join them, but I didn't dare. So I placed the shell.
He went to a nudist
under this
beach and saw a
rock,
bunch of naked men.
But all I could think about was that man's smile.
I'm not even. No.
Where the planes land, you'll find this beach, and I've placed the shell just out of reach. If you come first and want to flex, make sure you leave something for the person that's next.
Ah, that one wasn't bad. I expected worse.
Redefine how you experience.
No more ads. No. That was his whole video. Yeah, dude is really dope, but why the bare feet? Like, why is that a thing? Like, he even shows birds with fucking Crocs on, but he doesn't have shoes on. Yeah, that was actually kind of dope. Some of his videos is funnier, whatever. Some of them are funnier, but that one was a little educational. Like, he showed how to fucking uh, fuck, I forgot what it's called. But anyway, like where you put like electrode inside of a vat of acid to get the metal to stick to another metal, which is dope. It's kind of like hydro dipping for metal dipping. And then he showed his forge, which is also dope. Um, and he got a fucking hermit crab in a metal shell, which is probably going to rust away and kill the hermit crab. It might get sepsis. Who knows? But you know, that's his own fucking problem. He's morally corrupted on that one. Not me. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna start doing things like this more often. I've spent way too long trying to get all this set up, and yeah. I look forward to seeing you guys again. Take care.